All right, I wanted to talk about this feature that's not yet done in BrandGhost, but it is very close to being done, and I'm super excited about it. So, in a couple of the previous videos I made, I was talking about our ability to essentially index content, be able to generate more content based on your content, which is one of the major things in BrandGhost, right? We want to make sure that as you are creating things, if you're reaching this point where you're feeling like you have writer's block or you're like, I need new ideas, whatever that happens to look like, that we can kind of help you push through. And that's really important because a lot of people that are creating content, they basically reach a point where they're like, you wake up and you're like, I'm not feeling creative. People keep telling me I got to post every day. I'm on like a, 3 week streak and like I can't give up now, but I just don't have it in me. I can't think of anything to post. We have ideas for you. So the idea with what I'm about to show you is building on some of the previous videos. Like I said, this isn't totally done. I just want to give you a sneak peek. If you're watching this far in the future, we've probably evolved this a ton, but bear with me. The idea is that we're going to go through topic streams, and if you're not familiar with topic streams and BrandGhost, this is what we have in place so that you can create posts. You add them through BrandGhost. They go into this thing we call the topic stream, which is like a recurring queue. And that way, when your content reaches the end, so say you're posting every day and you have 60 pieces of content, it posts every day for 2 months, right? And then it will start reposting that content from the beginning. If you keep adding more content, that content will go out first, but it gives you this buffer, this circular buffer where you can keep posting things. And if you're not able to keep up with creating content all the time, it starts to recycle things for you. So, this is one of the ways personally that saves my butt for creating content and posting regularly. I rely on this heavily. This is why I built BrandGhost. We're going to look at a topic stream and then we're going to generate some new content from that. So I'm going to flip over to this view and you'll see my head in the corner down here. And the idea is, again, still early in progress, but we're going to add content and we have this new Ghostwriter button that we can click on. So I'm going to press generate. And what we will do for you is we'll look at your topic stream and we'll pick a couple of topics that we see from your topic stream, right? And then you can type your own in here. But in mine, we have importance of practice, navigating career challenges, overcoming imposter syndrome. These are some different things that I've talked about in the posts that I have in this particular topic stream. And then we can say a number of posts to go generate. I'm just going to do 3 in this case. But I wanted to talk about what this is actually going to do because we will have variations of this and we're already playing with some of them. The idea with what you're about to see is that we have post templates in place. And this is a library of templates that we can extend as the creators of BrandGhost and will enable you to be able to bring your own post templates. And like, what the heck do I mean by a post template? Well, if you think about the shape of a particular post, right? This might sound kind of meta or kind of weird, but like a post usually has something like a hook at the beginning, right? Trying to catch the reader's attention with your first line in your post. And then you might have a bit of information, and then you're like rehooking the audience, and you might have a bullet point list or a numbered list, and like the shape and the structure and the flow of your post. This is what I mean by the template. So we have a library of them, and you will be able to bring your own as well. And then when you're going to do this generation, we'll give you the ability to kind of pick and choose which templates you want it to leverage. If you don't want any of your own, that's fine. Don't use them. If you don't want any of ours, you can disable all of them. So we'll give you those options. But this is going to use templates. There are not many templates in the system right this moment. So when I go to show you this, in fact, right before I started recording this, I tried it out and I had, out of 3 posts, 2 of the templates were the exact same. So it made 2 posts that were very similar. So this is my disclaimer to you that this isn't edited. I'm just about to show you if it happens to pick 2 similar templates, that's what we're going to get. We're going to extend this, but we will have a variation of this as well, where if you don't want templates, you're like, I like the sort of style and the flow I have going on for my posts. Why can't you just use what I already have going on? We will. So we'll have that option too. In fact, this topic stream, I think there's almost 200 items in here, right? It's 176 at the top. I kind of found what works for me, right? So I would be happy to just reuse the structure and style of the posts that I already have. and create new content or new ideas for content from that. I might reach a point where I'm like, a lot of it feels like maybe too much the same in terms of like my structure. Maybe I want to spice it up with some new ideas in terms of formatting. Then I would bring in some more templates. So that's enough preamble, I hope. I'm going to press generate content. It's not going to refresh for us automatically. So you can see that I have 3 disabled up at the top. I'm going to press generate and then I'm going to refresh this page because it goes pretty quick. So there's generate. Oh, I didn't pick a topic. Sorry, my bad. Navigating career challenges. Let's generate. Ghostwriter started. It's probably already done. Give that a little refresh and we have more at the top. Okay. So it made 3 posts. Let's go look at them. By default, we have them as disabled, so you're not going to automatically start posting content that you haven't even proofread. I will say this repeatedly that unless AI changes dramatically, my perspective on this stuff is that I would never encourage people to just take blindly what AI creates for you. That's not our goal with Brand Ghost. We want to get you unblocked. We want to give you creative ideas. We want to have it in your voice. You should still read this and make it your own voice. So for example, I don't use M dashes at all when I write. Not that I'm against them. It's just that literally when I go to type the equivalent of an M dash, I always just use 2 dashes. That's just how I type when I'm writing blog posts and other social media posts. So like I wouldn't let this one go out the way it is. Like even with that, right? I would always go change my M dashes over. But if I wanted to, I'd go read through this and, I can see back to like the structure idea, right? So we have a hook at the top. Why does early career software engineers or this, in, grammar, why do early career software engineers face so much confusion around career growth? And then it's like, here's why, like a straight line, but here's my nonlinear growth playbook. And this is based on content that I already have. It's probably not obvious to you, but I create software engineering content when I post on social media. So this is pulling from content that is already indexed in BrandGhost from me. But when I talk about the shape and the structure, you can see here's a numbered list, right, with 2 items. Here's a bulleted list, and here's another bulleted list. It gives an example with a bulleted list, and then it leaves the post with a call to action, right? So it's asking readers to comment and to say something, right? So what's the most unexpected pivot or challenge in your tech career that taught you the most? Drop your story below. Like, again, I wouldn't say that. I would probably, sign off a post like that feels good. Overall, like I can see in the bottom, this post is 1,700 characters. That's a little too long for me. So I would go through, and if I felt like the content and the message in here felt good, I would probably just shorten this one up, just to be honest, right? So let's get rid of that. I'm just going to lose that draft. Let's check this next one out. I think we got 3 different templates, which is great for demoing. This one, on the surface, just under... Oh, I just realized my head might be behind here. Sorry if I was blocking some of the content, but this one is just under 1,000 characters. I think for like LinkedIn, I don't like usually going over like 800 to 900 characters. It starts to be a little bit too wordy, but this feels like pretty decent to me. Again, I realize my head is kind of blocking it, so I apologize. But what almost no one in software engineering realizes that career growth isn't a straight ladder. Like for me, I would probably do something like that as my hook, right? This like doesn't really feel like it's actually me. So this kind of feels like AI kind of word vomit. Like it's not really something that I have said or really would say. But the concepts like kind of make sense, right? Switching teams, sure. Exploring new domains, yes. Even taking similar roles, sure. But they like the AI, the LLM kind of frame this, and this is I want to be transparent here. This is not because it's doing the wrong thing with my content. It's because the post template that it picked is actually structured this way, right? So the templates themselves are pretty prescriptive, and that's why we want to make sure that you can bring your own, and why we want that option where you're not even using post templates, you're just using your own post structure. But this one is a little bit too prescriptive here. That's not quite what I would say, but the concepts are good. Here's why it matters. Build adaptability for future challenges. Like, I agree with that. Expand your network. Yep. Uncover strengths and passions. Yeah, like this, that feels pretty good to me. You can't see it, but at the end it says, "What's one blind spot you've uncovered in your own work?" So again, this is like a call to action at the end of the post. Like, overall, this one doesn't feel very bad to me. It's just that I would go through and kind of clean up some of the stuff that doesn't feel authentic to me. But in a nutshell, this is our ghostwriter. And I think I brought this up in one of the earlier videos, and I wanted to touch on it now just because I think it's a good reminder for some of the stuff that we're building. Like, that flow will get better. We talked about the templates. We talked about, using your existing post for structure. But something that may not be obvious to kind of come full circle here is that we do have the ability to pull in other content. So in one of the earlier videos I made, I was talking about this idea that I do a lot of vlog entries, right? So when I'm creating social media content, there's a lot of different places I post and different content I create. One type of content is my vlog entries. And the great thing about vlog entries is it's just me talking. It's literally me thinking out loud, and then I can take the transcripts of those and they get pulled into BrandGhost. Okay, I have, I think, 350 to 370 vlog entries at the time that I'm recording this current video. And if I have transcripts from all of those, that is a ton of not only knowledge about the things that I talk about, right? Like my experiences, my beliefs on things. This is all related to software engineering, career development, that kind of stuff. So not only is it like my knowledge base, it also is exactly how I talk because it is me talking. Sounds kind of funny, right? So we can take things like transcripts. In BrandGhost, for me, because I am, one of the builders of it, I already have this wired up. When I post my blog videos, I get transcripts pulled into BrandGhost automatically. So when it goes to generate content like you were seeing, it's able to leverage all of those transcripts. And that's super powerful because over time, as you're creating more and more content and you're adding more of like your own thoughts, your own voice, your own tone into this, the content that it creates will keep getting better and better. So I think that this is going to create sort of a flywheel effect. And sure, in the beginning, it might be a little bit tricky to find like what sounds like you, and totally acknowledge that. But that's why a lot of the other tools and stuff that we're building into BrandGhost, we're just trying to get your momentum going. That's why we have a free tier where you can cross post and schedule. We just want you to get your momentum. And then once you're starting to find your footing and you like, we don't want you to get stuck or kind of burn out from it. These are the other tools that we're trying to build on top so that you can keep posting, you can stay creative, and you can stay consistent and grow as a content creator. So hopefully that sounds cool. Like I said, this feature will evolve. Perhaps by the time you're watching this, it's already released and it's had many iterations, but I am super excited for this because we can start generating more types of content afterwards. So thanks so much for watching, and check out the next video on BrandGhost features. Take care.